Welcome once again to the Schaefer Small Engine Shop and two-car garage. I want to show you what I've been working on, and I'd rather get poked in the butt with a sharp stick than fool with these things. They are extremely difficult to work on. It's a Husky 455 Rancher, 2010 model. Got the made in Sweden tag on it. My friend Bill brought me this, and these are nice saws. They got a lot of cast metal on them, cast magnesium, and they run strong when they run. Bill brought me this one. I pulled on it 50 times. I checked the spark, checked everything on it. Pulled on it 50 times, never got it to pop. I called Bill. Bill, was this thing running when you brought it to me? It hadn't been running in a couple of years. How many couple of years? 2 or 3. Which I've translated to probably 4 years since it's been run. And I couldn't get it to pop. Had good spark. I put fresh fuel in it, but after 50 pulls, I said, enough's enough. And I went and bought a new carburetor for it. This is the carb that came off of it. And I'll bring you in a little closer. These are kind of sophisticated little carburetors. This is the carb that came off of it. I don't know whether this is a Walbra, but it's got a little turbo scavenging system built into it. And after 50 pulls, I just bought a new carburetor. And if you've ever worked on one of these things, putting a carburetor on it is a nightmare. They've got 2 pins that stick out here and here that have to go into some rubber cushions, and getting those pins to come out or go back in is work. And everything on it has got kind of complicated and hard to get to, and I have struggled and fooled with it, and finally have this thing back together. Now, I have not pulled on it to see what it's going to do. It did prime. I can punch the primer bulb, which I have replaced, of course, and it did fill the primer bulb, and I've got the kill switch all put back in place. Choke's working. I don't know how much choke it will need since it's 95 degrees outside. The throttle mechanism is all hooked up. And if you've ever worked on one of these throttles, they are a masterpiece of horrible engineering. Hard to get the throttle back together. Hard to get these things where they unlock. This has to come off. It's just, nothing is easy about working on this thing. I put the new carburetor on it, and it's got 4 bolts, which I won't show you, but 2 high and 2 deep ones low. Well, try getting this one over here off. It just can't be done. And try getting it back on. Impossible. So I took a drill and just drilled a hole in it right there, where I could get in there with a tool like so, in a long hex extension, and get the dadgum carburetor back into it. But fooling with this throttle mechanism, that could be 90 minutes. Getting the carburetor back on it in the proper position, that can be 2 hours. So they're not pleasant to work on. And this has got a brand new carburetor. This is unrehearsed. So I'm going to take it and set it up over here on my little starting bench where we can look at it. The screws that are on this thing, the high and low screws, have got some kind of tiny spline and the tiniest little slotted screws that I don't know how you'd ever adjust it. The thing vibrates. You'd never be able to get a little screwdriver in there. And I've got every carburetor adjusting tool known to man, but I don't have anything that fits these little tiny screws on this thing. So let me turn you off and get it set up, and we'll give it a pull. All right, I got it moved over, bolted down, primed. Let's see what we got, if anything. Let's turn the idle up a little bit. The idle you can adjust with a regular Allen. Regular wrench. Phillips head. Nice. I believe I had to switch off. I'm going to turn the idle up until it'll pop off and stay running. We're going to go to step 2 now. We're going to take a cable tie, put it on here. What that's about. Damn. We're going to another cable tie. We try to do better with this one. All right, we got the throttle tied open a little bit now. That is off. Well, it's not holding a prime here. I believe that could be the problem. Let me turn you off and see if I got a loose gas line here. Well, I found the problem and I'm in the process of fixing it. The intake fuel line from the gas tank, it comes up through a little grommet and it is bent at 90 degrees and it's pinched off fuel flow to the carb. So I'm going to pull that line back through a little bit and we'll pull on it again. I have fixed the 90-degree crimp in the fuel line and I've turned the idle back a little bit because idle was not the problem, wasn't getting any fuel. Disconnected my zip tie here, so air cleaner is still off, but we're ready for round two. It is primed and holding a prime. It is starting. It is getting plenty of gas. So I'm gonna put this thing back together and call it a W. Hope it never comes back. But thanks for watching. Hope this helps somebody.